Hi and welcome to this tutorial where I'm going to hopefully give you some support and guidance on how to make a distinction standard production log for production-based units on your qualifications, whether that be a BTEC, a UAL, or indeed any other applied general quals. So I'm going to do this through Microsoft Sway. So I'm going to show you how to construct a blog in Microsoft Sway, and I'm also going to show you some good practice and some scaffolding techniques on how to actually write a really reflective blog, which will enable you to hit a distinction standard consistently. So let's begin. So the first thing I wanted to do is let's have a look at Microsoft Sway. So Microsoft Sway is a free piece of software where you can make websites or basically really basic blog sites. So there are some templates that you can use. I'm not going to focus on them. I'm just going to focus on creating a new blank Sway first. So if I just click create new, this is going to open up Microsoft Sway. And essentially what it does is it creates a storyline where you're adding new blogs or entries throughout. And if you click on design, that basically shows you how it looks. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to obviously create a title for my Sway. So my production diary, magazine production. This is going to be my main title. I'm going to add a background picture, so if I click there, I can then go to search sources for pictures. Let's just type in magazines, search. Just tick that one in there and click it. Now if I now go to design, this is how the layout of the actual blog will look. So what I can do is I can actually select focus points, and then I can start to actually define certain elements of my images that I want to focus on. So whilst this is just a background image for the opening of the blog, I can tick the entire image is important, so it will always ensure it's selected, or I could untick it. I could even select an area within that picture that I want to be positioned to be the main focus at all times when I scroll down, etc. Now I can change this text, so I can accent it, or I can emphasize that text. It just means as we scroll down, there's more emphasis on that text. So as I want to add content, all I have to do is now for a new entry is click insert content. Now I will go for heading 1. So let's just imagine this is a entry 1. So entry 1, color palette. Okay. Now if I just select enter, or indeed just click plus text, this is all within the entry 1 box. Now I can start to add my blog entry in there. I can then also add images, I can add media, so I can actually add videos in there. So if I was to select video, I could select different forms of videos. So I can click on suggest and I can select YouTube clips, or I can upload videos. So for instance, if you've done some behind the scenes videos of you filming or something along those lines, you might be able to upload them as supporting evidence to back up what you're saying in your blog. I've actually got some pictures here that I'm going to utilise for this particular blog entry. But let's actually have a look at the way in which I would advise constructing your blog entries to enable you to get distinction. And that focuses on using Gibbs reflective cycle. So Gibbs reflective cycle is split up into 6 core sections where you describe what the event, the task was, your feelings as you experienced it and went through the event. You evaluate what went well, what didn't go so well. Then you start to analyse why it might not have gone so well. You then draw a conclusion from the whole process. What do you need to do better next time? What else could you have done? What did you learn from it? And then you draw on this to create an action plan. So what do I need to do next? What might I need to develop further to make sure things like this run more smoothly next time? Doing this will without a doubt enable you to hit that evaluation element of a grading criteria, which is typically distinction at this level. So this is an example here of blog entry that I've written beforehand. So this is the description section. So I've explained what I've completed and what I wanted to achieve. So today I've constructed a colour palette, see image 1 from a magazine. Whilst I understand that this may change further on in the production pipeline, I have developed this palette now so that I can start to visualise how the cover might look and to also consider potential costumes for my cover star that would contrast nicely with the colours chosen. So I've explained what I've done and what I wanted to achieve. Now I've gone into my feelings. Whilst I am by no means a graphic designer, I really wanted to ensure that the palette chosen for the magazine had a clear theme. I initially considered the colours for springtime, but I decided to go with something more bold, a best of British theme. Now that I've made this decision, I feel that I can make some good progress as I have a clear theme in mind. So I've explained what I was feeling throughout the whole task and how I'm feeling now it's done. Clearly I'm quite optimistic and happy with the progress. Then I'm evaluating what went well, what challenges I faced. So the process of using Adobe Color is fairly straightforward. I initially used the analogous color harmony option when considering my springtime palette. I then changed to a custom setting in order to develop the best of British palette. Doing this meant that I had constructed my desired color options, but when I looked at the accessibility tools, I had made the palette difficult to see for colorblind people. See image 2. As a result, I had to tweak the shade slightly. So I've evaluated what went well and what challenges I faced. I then analysed this. The process was successful because I knew what I wanted to achieve. I had a clear objective. Understanding accessibility a little more for graphic design projects is something that I should definitely explore further. So that's me evaluating what went well, what didn't go so well, what knowledge or experience might have needed to ensure things were more successful. Then I moved on to my conclusion. So I learned a lot about accessibility, contrast between colours, and how to use software packages more effectively during this process. In hindsight, I could have done a little bit more research into the features within Adobe Color. So there's my conclusion. What else could I have done? What did I learn from the task? And then finally, my action plan. Overall, I'm satisfied with how I managed this task. The next task that I need to complete is selecting appropriate fonts for my masthead. I need to make sure that I am more familiar with Adobe fonts and other principles of graphic design before jumping in at the deep end. So I've explained what the next step or the next task is, and what I kind of need to kind of revise in order to be more successful in future endeavours. So that is my blog entry, and that would 100% contribute towards a distinction standard piece of evaluation. So if you are consistent in utilising Gibbs reflective cycle all the way through your production log, then you will get a distinction. So I'm going to copy that and I'm going to paste that into Sway now. So if I click on design, I've got my title, and I've got entry 1 color palettes. Now I'm going to go back to here to the storyline, and I'm going to, well, I'd obviously added a video previously. I'm going to click plus, and I'm going to click image, and I'm actually just going to drag in this first one, and I'm going to click plus again, image, and I'm going to drag in my second one. I'm going to add a caption for each one. So image 1, image 2. I'm going to select on each of the focus points. I've made sure it's ticked that the entire image is important, and likewise focus points for my second one. The entire image is important. Now if I go to design again, I've got my blog entry and I've got some supporting images underneath. Okay. So that's that same process that you just need to repeat each time. So I can close entry 1, and now that's my first entry done. Now every single time you do a new task, do a new entry. So insert content, heading 1, and I've started my section 2. So entry 2, font development. Okay, and then obviously from there plus text. Type in my text, might add some supporting images or even indeed a supporting video, and then I can go on design, and then it starts to fill in from there onwards. Now in terms of styles, if you're not happy with this, you can then, when you're on design, click on the styles mode, and then you can actually change this. There's all these different customization processes. I like to make sure it is a vertical blog rather than a horizontal or a slides based one. Or what I like to do is actually just click this little remix button, and it just changes, lets Sway change the design. And there we go. At the end of the day, you're not getting judged on the design of your blog, you're getting judged on the content and the quality of that content. So as you can see, this is my production diary taking shape now with one really, really good detailed distinction standard entry. Now to share it with your teacher, you just need to click share. Please make sure you click anyone with a link can access it, because obviously if your work is being second marked or indeed being standards verified by your awarding body, they need to be able to access this. So anyone with a link, then you can just copy it, you can embed it into things, So if you copy it, now if I open up an incognito window, paste it in there, we can see it. So this is how anyone else would see your blog. There's another interesting feature in the bottom right hand corner here, where it basically creates like a content list, so you can go through each of those, which is also quite a nice feature. I would like you to use Sway, or I would suggest using Sway for doing this kind of process, but most importantly, use Gibbs reflective cycle. Focus on description, feelings, evaluation, analysis, conclusion, and action plan. Utilise that structure every single time you do an entry. Do an entry every single time you do a new task, and I can guarantee that you will, if you follow this process, get a distinction for your evaluations. So thanks for watching. Hopefully that helped, and I'll see you next time.